Have you ever felt like you have nothing left? No money, no plan, no connections, just a dream that feels out of reach. Friend, hear me. Zero is not a dead end. It's the canvas of creation. From Genesis to Revelation, God specializes in starting with nothing. He spoke light into a dark void. He formed humanity out of dust. He turned a wandering nomad named Abram into the father of nations. If you feel like you're at the end, you're actually at the beginning of God's story. Today we'll walk through 7 truths, 7 steps that show exactly how God takes the empty places of your life and builds something unstoppable. Everything magnificent starts as something microscopic. Creation began with a single word. Abraham carried a single promise for decades before a single child appeared. A seed never looks like the tree it will become. It's small, unimpressive, easy to overlook, but hidden inside is unlimited potential. Think about your own life. Maybe it's an idea scribbled in a notebook, a single skill, a quiet desire to serve. You may think it's too little to matter, but when God breathes on a seed, it contains the DNA of an entire forest. And here's the good news. God never asks for what you don't have. He asks for what you already hold. Remember the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish? That was enough. So ask yourself, what's in my hand right now? Maybe it's a gift of encouragement. Maybe it's a single relationship. Maybe it's just the faith to take one small step. Your seed might be small, but heaven sees the harvest. Now, here comes a part none of us like. Waiting. Seeds need time underground. Joseph spent years in a dungeon before Pharaoh called his name. Moses wandered 40 years in the wilderness before he ever saw the Red Sea split. Even Jesus waited 30 hidden years before 3 years of public ministry. Waiting doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something deep is happening. Roots are forming, character is growing, foundations are being laid that storms can't destroy. When you're waiting, it's easy to panic. Did I miss it? Has God forgotten me? No, delay is not denial. Think of an oak tree. The first growth isn't up, it's down. The roots dig deep long before you ever see a single leaf. Your unseen season is the proof that God is preparing you for what you've been praying for. So while you wait, worship. While you wait, learn. While you wait, keep moving in small obedience. Because waiting is not wasted time, it's preparation time. When you feel like you're at zero, the temptation is to chase what you don't have. Money, connections, a bigger platform. But God's question is always, what's in your house? Remember the widow in 2 Kings 4. She had nothing but a jar of oil, yet that tiny jar became a river of provision. Or the disciples with a few loaves and fish, the little they carried fed thousands. You don't need perfect conditions. You need faith to use what's already in reach. Write the business plan with the old laptop. Record the song on your phone. Share the idea with the people you know. Small steps of faith invite big moves of God. Heaven multiplies motion. Here's where most people quietly give up. They plant a seed, they wait a little, they even take that first brave step. Then they stop when it doesn't explode overnight. But listen carefully. Breakthrough is built on ordinary days, on routines that feel almost invisible. Think about Noah. Every sunrise for decades, he picked up the same hammer, cut the same wood, heard the same ridicule. He kept pounding nails even when the sky was blue and neighbors were laughing. Every board was a sermon of faith. Daniel prayed 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, though a death sentence hung over his head. He didn't pray because it was convenient. He prayed because consistency builds spiritual muscle. Even Jesus, the Son of God, lived 30 quiet years as a carpenter. 30 before a single miracle, before a single sermon. He honored his earthly parents, learned a trade, built tables, fixed doors. Heaven was watching every ordinary moment. That's the hidden law of momentum. Faithful repetition compounds like interest. Every day you write a page, practice the instrument, make the call, or simply show up. You're laying another brick in a foundation no storm can shake. Don't chase shortcuts. Don't despise the boring days. Celebrate them. They are the scaffolding of your future. Tell yourself each morning, today I'm adding another board to the ark. When the rain finally falls, what you built in secret will float in public. Destiny is never a solo assignment. Every giant of faith had a circle. Some small, some hidden, but always essential. David needed Jonathan, a friend who saw the king inside the shepherd and risked his life to protect it. Ruth needed Naomi's wisdom to navigate an unfamiliar land. Paul leaned on Barnabas to open doors and Timothy to carry the mission forward. Even Jesus refused isolation. He gathered 12 ordinary men, sent them out 2 by 2, and called them friends. Now flip the coin. The wrong voices can drain your faith like a slow leak in a tire. Samson's strength wasn't stolen by an army, it was eroded by one relationship. Lot's wife looked back because of the crowd she loved. Your relationships are prophecy. Show me your 5 closest companions and I can sketch the outline of your next 5 years. Pray for divine connections. Ask God to highlight mentors, encouragers, and truth tellers who pull you higher. And be willing, this is hard, to release the ones who keep you small. Sometimes subtraction is addition in disguise. Evaluate your circle regularly. Does this person feed my purpose or drain it? Do they call me to excellence or excuse my compromise? Remember, destiny is contagious, good or bad. Choose wisely. Before God builds something through you, He builds something in you, starting with the battlefield of your thoughts and the power of your words. Scripture says life and death are in the tongue. That isn't poetry, it's spiritual physics. If you constantly declare, I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'll never get ahead, you are watering weeds. But when you speak life, I am the head and not the tail. My God supplies all my needs. I will see the goodness of the Lord. You plant seeds of future victory. Guard what you allow into your mind. The endless negative news cycle, the cynical friend, the music that drips hopelessness. These are like toxic fertilizer. Renew your mind daily. Read scripture aloud. Meditate on promises. Fill your atmosphere with worship. Your mind is soil. Whatever you plant will grow. And don't forget the quiet words you speak to yourself when no one hears. Those private sentences shape your tomorrow more than public speeches. Speak life until your environment changes, and then keep speaking it to maintain the blessing. Faith is motion. Israel didn't watch the Jordan River part from the safety of the shore. The miracle began only when the priest's feet touched the water. Peter never experienced walking on waves until he swung his legs over the boat. You can pray, plan, and dream for years, but at some point you must move. Register the business even if the market looks impossible. Apply for the scholarship even if the competition feels fierce. Share the testimony even if your voice trembles. Listen carefully. 0 is not a curse. 0 is not the end. 0 is the moment God steps in. Look at scripture. Abraham had no children. Joseph was in a pit. David was a shepherd. Moses wandered the wilderness. Every one of them had what looked like nothing. And God turned their nothing into something extraordinary. Your empty bank account, your small house, your unanswered prayers, they are not failure. They are preparation. Heaven is getting ready to show up in ways you cannot yet imagine. Protect the seed God has placed in your life. Feed it with faith. Nurture it with obedience. And trust the invisible work happening in the waiting. Every patient moment is a brick in the foundation of your future. Start with what you have. The widow had a jar of oil. The boy had 5 loaves and 2 fish. Your little is enough. God's multiplication never fails. Faith requires motion. Take a step today. Make the call. Start the project. Speak words of life. Small steps open the largest doors. Walk with the right people. Seek mentors, encouragers, and those who lift you. Release those who weigh you down. Your circle shapes your climb. Guard your mind and your words. Speak life even when it feels impossible. Meditate on God's promises. What you declare will grow. Friend, your 0 is not a prison. It is holy ground. It is the perfect place for God to build. Go forward with courage. Go forward with patience. Step into the God who can turn 0 into victory, lack into abundance, and silence into praise. Your 0 is God's opportunity, and the best is yet to come.